Today, we're going to be taking a look at this new bright Railking electric train set. Now, normally, when you think about new bright G-scale trains, you think about something like this. We have an engine that's powered not by the track, but by a selection of batteries inside the tender. You have the power switch right here, and you got this selection of buttons here on the side that controls the sound. And the track itself is just cheap plastic. This set, though, is different. The engine part of it looks very similar, but it probably has some differences on the inside. The tender, well, initially it looks the same. It's not. It doesn't have the controls on the side, but most importantly, it has metal wheels. The reason for the metal wheels is that this is a train set that has a separate transformer and metal track. We see a picture of the transformer here. I have a video that shows this particular train running on my metal track on my garden railway. I'll have a link up in the corner. So this train is compatible with G-scale sets. But this one actually has metal track and a transformer like the others. So I've been told that it does not work, and I've been asked to see if I can get it to run. So we're going to start with the transformer first and verify that the transformer is operational. Then we'll work our way around the track to the tender, and then finally the engine itself. Here it is, unboxed. Somebody glued the bell into the cap of the funnel, which is not right. I'll have to see if I can get it out. Get a closer look at the tender, and you can see how it's got metal wheels to pick up power from the track. And it still has a wire connector on the end. The cars are the same as their battery powered sets. This is what the track looks like. I'm not sure if that can be connected to LGB or Aristocrat track or not. Here we have the transformer with this pickup strip. We have the cord and the power supply, and we have the curved track. So like I said, we're going to check out the transformer first. To show you how the new bright power supply was set up, it had an 18 volt power supply there, which applied power to this box with a rheostat inside, and these two connectors snapped onto each side of the track. They probably work on any type of LGB, Aristocrat, Pico track, but anyway, that's how it works. So I went ahead and hooked up the power supply that came with it, and it does nothing at all. So we seem to have two issues. This power supply that connects to it is dead, but the engine itself is not working either. So it turns out all I had to do is hit the reset button on here. And when I did, the power supply was fine. So it turns out we can rule out the power supply. Now when we power it up, the tender is getting power, and it works, but the engine isn't. So now we're down to trying to troubleshoot the engine and its connector. So the battery powered one has two connectors, not just one. So I am not sure that I can test the powered engine with the battery tender. You turn it on. Move. So on the battery powered train, the second wire apparently runs to the connection to the forward reverse lever here. So we're going to do something a little crazy. We're going to power back up the battery power tender. We're going to turn the power on, the forward reverse on this engine, and see if the tender sends a signal to the original track power engine to go. This will help us tell whether the problem, is in the wire on the tender or in the engine itself. So here we go. That did not work because apparently this one still needs power from that second connection. Taking the tender apart, we see the blue and white wires going from each side of each tender to the circuit board, and then we see the wires coming out to the speaker. Mount it right there. There's a second circuit board that appears to be empty except for that one resistor, and it's just glued there. Our wire, which runs to the tender, is connected somewhere on the back. So I am not sure if I can remove this and check that the engine connection without messing something up. It's definitely not made to be repaired. Every now and then, you come across a toy train or even a model train that simply isn't repairable. And unfortunately, this appears to be one of them. I am certain that there's a break in this wire right here. When I put my multimeter across the bottom two pins on that same connector on my battery powered one, I get about 5 volts. I get nothing on this one. When I put my multimeter across the top two on both of them, I don't get any power at all. I think the way this works is that the bottom two supply power to the switch on the battery powered train and any circuitry in here that remains on all the time. The upper one is the one that the tender sends power to when it's time for the engine to move. I tried various combinations of powering the engine using the battery power tender, and I can never send power to the engine, so the engine's condition is unknown. But if there really are 4 wires and that little thin wire, then trying to cut out a section and splice in a new one would be very hairy, because apparently there's 4 thin wires inside of that one wire. Taking this connector apart is next to impossible, and we saw how ugly the terminal end was on the other end. I do see that it may be possible to take that apart, but still, it's just too tedious, and when it's all said and done, I don't know if the engine will even work. So my apologies to the family who owns this, but I just wasn't able to repair it. Thank you for watching.